Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Getting your spending back on schedule. Getting your spending back on schedule. That's a very important thing because if you've been following me, you have some type of budget. I told you I got every month. I got a budget of everything. I got something. I printed out a little chart of what I'm spending every month as far as my bills. So I make sure I always have the money for that. Everything is paid on time. The day that bill appears, it's paid. All right. But then also have something with my discretionary income. And I have, also set personal limits on what I spend on my credit cards. I only go so far with it. Now that's in general. Now think about what I've done the past few months. Okay, had to move into a bigger place. That took a lot of extra money, not just the moving, but then having to buy, getting new bedroom sets for me and my sons. Building furniture, this very desk, I had to build this. How many pieces? I had to build several pieces, including some shelves for the garage. So yeah, I had to spend extra money. And then there's always some little thing. When you move from something that's one story, like one floor, to something that has 3 floors, all of a sudden you buy an extra stuff you probably didn't think about. There was even some little stuff that didn't cost that much money, but it was like, I just bought something yesterday for the kitchen that I never thought about before in life. I was like, wow, And part of it just so it looks nice, dining room set, all of that. Spending all that extra money. And then of course, what I'm paying, the increase in what I'm paying just to live here. Okay, but that was part of it. That was already in the budget anyway. It's all the little stuff. Okay, so that's a lot of extra. Then on top of that, the vacation. Because when I went out to San Diego, I had an expensive hotel. It was nice. I give it to them. It was nice. They actually upgraded me even more. But I rent a car. So I'm spending all this money. I'm spending all this extra money. And then, paying for stuff, the flight, all of that. Okay, spend a whole lot of extra money. All right, I'm like, oh, okay. Because usually on my credit cards, I told you I pay them off right away. Now, I had a lot extra, so I was able to get everything down by applying what I'm about to share with you. It's a matter of when you spend extra money and stuff happens. And it could have been an emergency or something. Like say something happened with the car, I had to spend some money there. What you do is, okay, you stop, you got all of it. You approach it very strategically. Like say, okay, you spend money. A lot of times when you spend extra money, you have to spend it on your credit cards. All right, so it's a higher bill. Well, I don't need, I don't know. It's been so long because usually they ask for the same thing every month, no matter what. But whatever the case, all right, you might say you got $3,000 on your credit card, even though monthly you usually pay it off because even if you spend like $1,000, you pay it off or, something. All right, so I said, okay, I can't pay it all off at one time. Okay, let me pay, of course, way more than the minimum due, but then have that plan to get it down and then lessen the normal use I have of it. See, here's the thing. When you spend it, okay, you trying to get the money back down. The main thing, whether using a credit card or even if you just using your savings or just your regular discretionary income. All right, you say, okay, I'm gonna have to make some sacrifices. I can't go to the buffalo wing place, or I can't get that those crabs. Well, all the Maryland people watching to know what I'm talking about. Can't get those crabs. Yeah, my neck can hang out. And you know what? I don't need those extra pair of pants right now. You start thinking, okay, let me cut back on stuff that normally takes money, discretionary, and just get this other stuff done. And it's not, and just to be clear, in most cases, you shouldn't have to go all out, but just gradually bringing it back, gradually bringing it back on schedule. Because of course you still want to keep your bills paid. Okay, that's the priority. In fact, here's just a quick tangent. Don't even count the money that you bring in that goes to your bills in the sense of like, well, maybe I can skip over a bill or something. No. Or rather in the sense of that money's already spent. So you're not thinking about it. You're thinking about your discretionary income. And see, since it's discretionary, this stuff you might not need. I mean, you know what? Like you might, like if you like me, I don't cook at home that often. I really don't. You know? Because actually, and just as an aside, sometimes the ingredients for stuff is nearly as much as it would just to have somebody else make it, to be honest. Seriously, you save just a little bit. But maybe it's a situation, depending on what you eat, you would save a little bit. Okay, go for it. Look at every little area you spend money in. Okay, maybe you can't just drive around willy-nilly. You're going to have to be more economical with your trips. So like say you got stuff here, cleaning here, groceries here, maybe you have to say, okay, let me do it all in one trip and let me chill out a bit. You know, just look for little ways that you can not spend on some stuff in the discretionary areas. And then, you know, you might have to catch some sales if you absolutely need something. See, you want to do it like that. Just get it back. And then when you get it back on track, you good. And if it took a few months for it to get, you know, beyond the limit, okay, you look, as long as you got your basics paid, your rent, mortgage, your utilities, those are the main things, like all your like major bills. As long as you got them paid, you got room. And just take your time. You don't have to get it all back at one time. You just have to just get it back under control, back on schedule, boom. And then, of course, as I always say, make sure you have that savings. Like you might have to feed the savings again. And let me say something about that. When you try and get your stuff back on schedule, though, unless it's an absolute emergency, don't use your savings. Let me say again, don't use your savings. Because one of the things I haven't touched in getting my stuff back on schedule is the savings. Once it's in the savings, it stays there. And I've said that before. So that you're not even counting that. So basically, you got your income that you're bringing in, take care of your bills, your savings, treat it like another bill. You always pay it. And then your discretionary income. That's where you got the most flexibility. So you don't spend as much. You get everything back under control and then boom. And like I say, take your time. Don't panic. That's the main thing. Don't panic. And still make sure you got your schedule written out and all of that. All right? So anyway, that's all I have for now. About to get out of here. And yeah, I was just putting back on my clogs. You know, I'll be doing this. I'm in the pajama pants. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have for today. Y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.